Hello, my name is Bebe Zorcic. I'm a ski coach. I'm also a student at University BC. It is kinesiology department for high performance coaching, technical leadership, and I will present podium result tracking for alpine skiing slalom event. Just to give you an idea, what's alpine skiing or just skiing in general participation global, it's 150 million. Germany is leading as most skiers, and then Canada is on 10th place with 2.4 million. I analyzed the data related to national team budgets for alpine skiing, and fortunately Europeans, they don't have this information published anywhere, only Canada and US, as you can see the numbers. Also, I researched the number of national team athletes per nation for 20 and 21 national teams, and you can see that Italy and Austria, close to Switzerland, they're leading with much higher numbers than Canada. Canada is on 10th place. I mean, it's not in 10th place. Canada only have 18 athletes, 7 men, 7 women, and 4 development men who are not part of the team. They are training with provincial or NCAA teams. As every organization, Alpine Canada published their document, and yeah, long-term athlete development. It's easy to read and easy to understand what are the steps. Same as other sports in Canada, going from active to fundamentals to learn to train to compete, train to win, competitive for life and active for life. Primary objective is to win a medal, and average age to enter a gold medal pathway is between 22 and 24. As you can see, ratio in this train to win environment is 70% is competition, 30% is training, and gotta be sophisticated training with focus on technical, tactical, physical, mental skills, and life skills. Canada had a success in the past, and we won a lot of medals in alpine skiing, ski cross, and para skiing. And these athletes well representing Canada, and will represent Canada in the future. So news prove how well ski cross is doing is Kevin Drury, who is this year world champion. Kevin came through Alpine ski system, then went to NCAA, and then transitioned to ski cross after he finished university. He's been there for 5 years, and he embraced the system, and he learned a lot from his teammates. So our focus of analysis is men World Cup slalom. We're going to try find what are the gaps in development and if you can suggest any improvement. So this is LTAD document every sports organization have, and it's in here. It's broken down to every level, every age group, what exercises, what skills had to be developed to move to the next level. So what are the World Cup men's slalom challenges? Yeah, number one, Canada men never won a World Cup slalom race. So it's still waiting for that person to break the tradition. Then speed tradition, which means Crazy Canucks historical success, didn't help to develop a slalom support system. All of the young people, as soon as they have good skills, they would specialize speed. And there was also no World Cup slalom event in North America, so there was no exposure to Canadian public for technical men. So what takes to be a slalom skier, especially professional slalom skier at World Cup level? To qualify for World Cup, you have to be ranked top 60 races in the world. You can get the ranking through NORAM level. That's the most organized and most efficient way. You can go through Europa Cups, Far East Cups. But for North American athletes, North American Cup winning slalom title or be second. It will put you between top 30 and top 40 athletes start position and ranking. Small percentage athletes can make it to those two spots, and that's a challenging because it's only a few opportunities for athletes. So every year from Canada, US, only 2 athletes can earn those spots. Also, you need support from national sports organization on the snow. It comes down to coaching, supporting staff, equipment, travel, budget, races. And then off slopes is a team of therapists and conditioning coaches, nutritionists, psychologists, medicals. All of these people have to be lined up and to have a successful team. Key component in this level, World Cup level, is mental and tactical preparation. There's many factors are taking part of the ski racing, and some of them are listed here, which is start position, race course conditions, course setup, racer readiness, tactical, technical, mental. And there's not too many a number of opportunities, and there's a lot of pressure on athletes to perform. Equipment has to be tuned and ready to go, and coaches' ability to guide athletes through pressure situation is crucial. Health is one of the reasons why athletes and medical staff are working together and getting ready for the race. So interesting analysis were from 2015-2020. See how many racers started race and how many racers finished the race or qualified for the second run. As you can see, Canada didn't have much success the last 5 years versus France, Austria, Italy. They had always somebody in top 30 or at the finish line in second run. I also analyzed data for Canadian alpine skiers from 2004-2020, and the closest one to win Slalom World Cup was Thomas Grandi, and his age was between 32 and 34 when he had second places. Comparison to France from 2004 to 2020, France was on 21 times on podium in slalom. And then when you're talking about the age, even this year, 2020, France had 2 athletes in top 10. So Noel Clement, who even won the World Cup this year, he's only 23, and his teammate Julian Lizaro is 41.
How about Thomas Grandi, second after the first run, on course now.
Our tradition in Canada has been speed. No Canadian ever won a giant slalom. My whole thing was I wanted to be a giant slalom and slalom champion.
For my dad waking me up early in the morning and just the excitement of hearing that Thomas, the guy that I'd grown up watching, achieved the highest step on the podium. I knew what that moment meant.
Coming through the finish line, he's in first place with only one skier still to go.
In order for my legacy, I think, to matter, we need to be successful in the technical disciplines. I think that would be a legacy that I could hang on to, having inspired the continuation of a dedication to excellence in all the alpine ski disciplines.
So here are 2 steady national team members, technical team, Eric Reed and Trevor Phillip. So here's statistics, how many slalom skiers are ranked in top 100 in the world. And as you can see, Austria, Switzerland, Italy, they're leading by 10, 11, 12 athletes in top 100. Canada this year had 4, and last year had 5, and the year before had 3, and then the highest number they had 7 was after Sochi Olympics, and then our team was much bigger because we were supported and they had a budget to have a bigger team. So just to illustrate how difficult it is to be in top 30 in the world, Canada last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, only had one athlete in top 30 in slalom. Croatia had a 3, and as you can see, Austria and Switzerland, France, Italy, they had a lot more races in top 30. So those are the guys who had a chance to make the podium. And you can see here Sweden in 2015 had 7 guys in top 100, and all 7 were top 30. All 7 had a chance to be in a podium. But they dropped down, as you can see in 2019 they only had one top 30 athlete. So there are 2 measurements for athletes. One is World Cup points, and other one is the FIS points. So World Cup points is accumulation of wins or top 30 results. And as you can see, 2020 winner was Kristoffersen from Norway. Noah Clement was second, and on and on. Then they scored, as you can see here, 50 points, and then Eric Reed, our top slalom skier, scored 50 points, so he qualified 4 times for second run last year. So another way of ranking athletes in skiing is FIS points. So top athlete, winner, world champion, and World Cup winner has got 0 points, and everything else, the higher numbers, the more you're behind. So 1 point represents actually 6 to 8 points represent 1 second behind the winner, and if you're 10 seconds behind, you're 75 to 80 points. As you can see here, Trevor and Eric, they would be about 2.2 seconds behind the winner when you calculate these points. There was a change in the algorithm from 2019-20. You can see increase in the points. Not much difference in at top athletes, but if you're a little bit behind, points are changing. So here is just a better graphical presentation of world ranking and FIS points. As you can see, Hirscher and Kristoffersen and Noah Clement, they won in 2020. They won the World Cups. Actually, Hirscher retired last year, but winning before 1918, so 0 points. And the more behind you are, higher points you are. And you can see graphs where Canadian athletes, the last 5 athletes, Canadians have tried to just to give you graphics of where we are at the moment in the slalom ranking. These stats and graphics represent how many slalom starts versus how many qualifying second runs athletes had. And as you can see, the top athletes pretty much finished whatever they started at, versus Canadians, they have spiky graphs here. So they started 8 times, didn't finish any, didn't qualify any. They may finish, but they're slow, or maybe they fall. And you can see it. But as years are progressing, Eric Reed was getting better. And then he finished 4 races in 2018. And only had finished 1 in 2019. And 2020 finished 4. So his ranking is inside top 30. So he's our best guy at the moment. The other guys, Fournier never finished top 30. Trevor Phillip, he finished once in top 30, and then Phil Brown had 4 top finishes. But he retired last year. Let's get to know Eric Reed a bit better. He's no stranger to NORAM Cup victories. He had 9 of them. He also won 45 FIS races. NORAM Cup podium is 18, and he's just breaking through Europa Cup. He won last year, giant slalom, and World Cup slalom is his next challenge. So I collected data for Hirscher, which is an Austrian champion, 60 times World Cup winner. Pinturo, who is the same age as Eric, and I'll just compare, give you the idea about his FIS point trend. how close in his trajectory to Pinturo, who is, as I say, he's same age as him. And here you can see his trend where he improved quite a bit, and that's the data he used to analyze, and it's coming out of FIS webpage. So Eric was struggling at age at 2018. You can see here with the points, and then he decided to switch his skis. Pinto did it before, so it took him a couple of years to adapt the skis and boots, and that's the results are showing. So we're hoping Eric's going to be in the same position this year and next year. So here is the start to finish ratio in World Cup slalom, and I analyzed Kristoffersen, who won slalom, and Pinturo is the same age as Eric, and you can see here spiky path for Eric, but then in 2018 he finished 4 races, 2019 1, and 2020 he's finished 4. Other 2 guys are way more consistent, and that's why they're in the World Cup more consistently than World Cup top 10 than Eric is. So these are the athletes I chose in 1981 and competed from day one when they started this life. It's Pinturo, Eric, there's Mike Renicky, who was really successful in a young age, and Phil Brown, who was Eric's teammate. Pinturo was the biggest challenge always. So we can take a look at his performance when he was winning World Cup in his home turf and hill in Val d'Isère. Icy surface, a lot of turns, and this is second run. As you can see, it's quite rough, but powerful, technically super sound athlete, and didn't have problems.
I really have to push, I really have to make my best, because it will be a hard fight. Yes!
So here's a trend of FIS points. 1991 age group had in the past from 2007 to 2020, and Pinturo is their same age. So Pinturo, Foss, Reed, Brown, and Anarchy. And you can see right at the beginning of their career, Ankeny, he was the most promising slalom skier, and he was moving really well throughout the first 4 or 5 years of FIS level, and it kind of leveled out at the end, and then he couldn't punch and break in top 30 and decided to retire. In the other case, Pinturo started with worse points than Brown and Eric, but he had the breakthroughs every second year. He was going from 70 to 20 points, from 20 to 9 points, from 9 points to 4 points. Every 2-3 years he would punch in and make a breakthrough to another level. In case of Reed and Brown, they were steadily improving over the years, but could never make that last step. And we're hoping Eric another couple of years will be able to do it. So another stats regarding FIS points and improvement in athlete's career. As you can see from graph, the blue color, Pinturo after second year FIS never looked back. He improved pretty much every second season, third season. He would go from one level to another, and that's why he's at the top compared to Brown and Reed. As you can see, they were going back and forth, and this trending line, the red color, so it's predicted that Eric Reed's going to be more successful. Not more successful, but he's going to have success a bit earlier than Brown. and I think patience is a it's a big factor in these athletes and the level they're at the moment. So just to show you how good these guys are, how close their ski performance, technique, and race performance. Picture-in-picture tool, which I'm going to show you here. It's really good for coaches and athletes to identify their weaknesses and for the future development. So another graph represents this points and their performance from 2007 to 2020. As you can see, Pinturo was always consistent and ahead of this group, and Brown and Eric, they were going back and forth. Let's get to know Alex Pinturo. 29 victories, 62 podiums, 252 starts. But what's more impressive is happening behind the scene. It's his team he assembled. It's a well-oiled machine, and all of them are pulling towards the same goal to get Alex Pinturo to the top to win overall title in 2020.
In my shoes, world on my shoulder, heart full of blues, I'm in the dirt.
This summer, was anything different or?
Now I have kind of my own team.
I heard a rumor you started learning German. Did you take German classes this summer?
Yeah, we start exactly last year, and this year it's quite better, so I can start to make some interviews, but it's still early, yeah? But it's getting better and better.
This is actually a really good idea. He'll probably get a much bigger following and make a lot more money.
We can already see that something is changing.
They watered yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday afternoon.
Cool.
And I can hear skis. So maybe I go inside.
Ah, Lexi, what a fun skier to watch. He has just such a nasty top of the turn, mostly known for GS, where he's unbelievably fast, so powerful. But here in slalom, it's coming along really nicely. Skis really glued to the snow, a little bit of soft snow down here, but really great skiing.
You'd be most scared of going up against?
I think Kilde.
Okay. Yeah, killed it for sure.
Definitely Kilde. Alexander, how much Kilde?
Yes, I like that. And then most annoying question from journalists this season.
Are you the big favorite of the overall?
For sure this is annoying, huh?
I mean, it's not really annoying, but because it's a part of our world also. But it's more about the questions that we hear the most.
Who's gonna win the overall this year for men?
Panther, he's got a back here. Pinturo. Yeah.
Nice.
Honestly, he's like the chosen one in our sport right now. And it's not just because he's so bloody good, it's also because he's a sweet dude. Really nice guy.
I like your lift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the fastest one and always adapted to the course, to the length of the course.
The perfect Palma.
Good session?
That was a difficult one, but a good one.
So now you know what Pintaro, what team is behind him, what he does, and this graph just showed you. He never looked back. He was meant to be at the World Cup stage and podium. I pulled some data from World Juniors 2011 where Pintaro, Reed, and Brown, they were in the same race. As you can see, Brown and Reed, they had success in slalom and giant slalom. That's a quite good placement. 5th, 6th, 3rd, 7th, 11th. And Pintaro won giant slalom. He was only a tech skier at that time. Didn't finish slalom that year. So Alpine Canada shifted focus from 91 age group to 97, and most of those 97s ended up in speed, except 2 athletes who continue slalom. A lot of stats, a lot of data showing this generation 1997, born 1997, a lot of potential. First 3 years of FIS, they were really successful in technical events, and Jeffrey Reed and Crawford were as good as Noel Clement and Popov, those two leading in their age group. But these guys decided to go speed route, and they're training less slalom. They're more focused on Super G and downhill. With their technical skills up to highest levels, they should have a bright future in years to come. The athletes who stayed at the technical side, Simon Fournier and Keegan Sharp, didn't have as many opportunities to develop their ranking and position to move up to next level. They need to train with World Cup skiers like Eric and Trevor Phillip to improve their technique, to learn about what it takes to be at the World Cup level. So Canadian team with only 2 athletes at World Cup level, well organized and should benefit athletes. Maybe athletes have to be a little bit more engaged in the decision-making process, including coaching, selection, training, design. At the same time, you should keep athletes accountable for their actions. From Alpine Canada perspective, I think they should try to let athletes develop a little bit longer. Any kind of qualification burden is not applicable for these generations. They have to develop their skills, and next gen athletes have to close the gap between them and the World Cup level. Then that qualification criteria would make sense. Any short-term success strategy never worked for Canadian athletes. Just in general, Alpine Canada system have to recognize U18 athletes, U21 athletes who are doing really well for their age group, and if nothing, just to give them, to recognize them as a future of Alpine Canada skiing. Also, maybe nominating a few national training centers across the country with good training hills would fit in the issues and challenges we have these days with coronavirus. Recognizing academic side and to be part of the national team program and educate the coaches is a way to go for future. It's been quite interesting research, a lot of interesting data, and finding out about alpine slalom skiing was really rewarding for me. I used data from FIS webpage. Their statistics are well organized. Also use documentation, long-term athlete development from Alpine Canada. So I want to thank everybody from Alpine Canada who helped me to make this project reality. And thank you to a couple of athletes I interviewed who gave me their insiders about life to be Alpine Canadian team member. Thanks all.